Hey, what's going on guys? It is Jack here, and today I'm doing a little bit of a different video for Sunday. I'm going to be explaining how I build my MOCs so fast and so effectively. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I get a lot of questions about how I can build MOCs so quickly, so I'm going to try and break this down for you so you guys can emulate this if you're trying to post a lot of videos. Maybe you're a YouTuber like me, or you just want to build MOCs and don't have the time to, sit down for hours upon end and do something. So hopefully I can show you exactly what I do. Basically, when I walk into this room, I already have like a mindset. I walk in and I'm like, okay, you know what I want to do? I want to build something that's on a 32 by 32 base plate, and it's got to be, colorful. So if I know it's going to be that big and it's got to be colorful, well, I know that I need a lot of pieces if it's going to be on a 32 by 32 base plate. So I look, I got a lot of paints here. I could use that. I got a lot of medium blue. I could definitely use that. I got a lot of sand green, orange, lime green. So you got to look at what parts you have and see if you can actually do that with the size you want to do. For example, if I wanted to build something huge like my mall and I wanted it to be all one color instead of very colorful like it was, I would have to flock to my grays, because I have a whole lot more grays than I do any other color. I can't do it with only these purple pieces, because that's all the purple wall pieces I have. So if you know what you're going to build, you know what parts you need to use and what colors you need to use. That way you're not having to start over halfway through the MOC or make some changes or think about how to continue because you ran out of parts and you can't complete a wall. That's the biggest issue that I know a lot of people face. I used to face that all the time. I used to be like, man, I want to build something huge. I want it to be a gigantic MOC like a hospital, and I want it to be all bright magenta, and all of the magenta I have is this. There's no way I can do that. So if you know what you're doing, you won't be backtracking, looking for different parts or starting over because you realize you can't complete it just because of lack of parts. So know what you're doing beforehand. That way you can figure out the parts you need, and you're not making mistakes left and right. The best thing to do also when it comes to that is combine colors. I can't stress this enough. When you're building a MOC, combining colors is definitely the best way to go. For example, on this MOC I'm building right now, you can see it's not just dark green. If I did it all dark green, I would not have enough parts to complete it. So the stone foundation is taking up the front, and that's pretty much the first front floor. Those are all dark colors and they all go together, but I don't have to make it look ugly by splicing colors like bright yellow, bright red, purple, blues, all that stuff together. If you could pick colors that go together nicely and contrast them with stone and accents that are brown and everything like that, you can build something much larger because you can combine the pieces, and that's something that I can't stress enough. Also, when it comes to building walls and stuff like that, I never part out all my MOCs in a way where the bricks are alone by themselves. As I showed with these things, you can see they're already stacked up, and that's because with me only having 1x2 bricks here, I know that I'm just going to stack them up like normal. So when I part them out, I can just stack them like this, break it in half, and when I'm building the wall I just do this, because I can't stagger them because I don't have the parts. So why would I take them apart if I'm just going to end up stacking them like that? If I keep them in those pre-built wall assemblies, it saves me a lot of time, like a whole lot of time building walls and structures. It's just something that I like to do. Keeping little assemblies together is my go-to. I also do that with a lot of furniture, and now that I mention this, you guys are going to call me out on it, but I keep a lot of furniture builds put together. If I pull out this drawer here, you can see a lot of furniture pieces that I include in a lot of my MOCs. For example, this toilet, I use this in almost every single bathroom I build, and that's because every toilet I make has the same design essentially, so there's no point in me wasting time searching for parts I rarely find and rarely use to make a toilet that's just going to look the same as my last one. So why not just reuse it? Again, because I mentioned that, you guys are going to call me out and I'm going to have to do something different on it, but I do that with a lot of pieces or assemblies, and it really saves me time when it comes to the interior. For example, this TV, I don't want to spend the time making an odd layout and then, looking for slopes, because I never use those pieces, so they're hard to find. Why not just keep the TV together and, save time that way? So that's basically what I do. I can leave assemblies together and I walk in with a game plan knowing what parts I'm going to use. That way I can already have an idea on what to do, and I can just immediately start building and rarely have to backtrack. Of course, this is not flawless. You're going to have to backtrack sometimes because, you're going to make a mistake here, or you're not going to like the way it looks, but it really does save a whole lot of time, and that's how I can build extremely fast and usually get 2 MOCs done a week. Hopefully this helped you out and taught you that you can actually leave things together and focus on what to do and not just go into a build clueless. You don't have to write everything out on paper. You don't have to plan like I know a lot of people do. But hopefully this did teach you a little bit about how I build so fast. Maybe you can build fast in the future. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and most importantly, take care, guys.